Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you joined me today. I'm Hayley, and I'm going to share with you a few easy ways you can change your mindset to help make your everyday life feel more romantic. Why? For me, this helps to motivate me to do things, allows me to fall in love with myself and my life a little bit more, and generally helps to prevent me falling into negative spirals in my head, although that does still happen occasionally because I'm only human after all. I see a lot of these videos on YouTube and TikTok telling me to have a skincare routine, dress up and go to a coffee shop to study. However, these things are not the key to living a romantic life. It's all about the way you view your life. If you wake up early in the morning and take time getting ready after doing yoga and eating a smoothie bowl, then great, your life is like a movie like Breakfast at Tiffany's. But if you wake up late, throw on whatever clothes don't reek and quickly make up a flask of coffee before you miss your bus, your life could be romanticized as a coming of age or a comedy. These are arbitrary categorizations, but my point here is that your life doesn't have to be super aesthetic or go according to plan to feel magical and exciting. You all know the recent trend about being the main character or having main character energy. Well, I don't think you have to be the main character. That's too much pressure. Still, if you're not enjoying your story, it's within your power to change it. There's a lot that is out of our control that we can't change, but focus for a minute on the things that you can. Notice how nice that cup of warm tea feels in your hands. Take a deep breath of fresh air outside. Take pleasure in watching the seasons change. I think these days there's just too much emphasis on things being aesthetic. I for one am guilty of taking far too many pictures of things instead of just enjoying them. Don't get me wrong, being an amateur photographer is fun, but I have noticed that sometimes my head is in the wrong place. I'm thinking about what will look good online rather than keeping it to remind me of how nice it was or who I was with. I think trying to be more present in the moment is something that we could all benefit from. This is one of the reasons I love being outside in nature. Taking away those walls that box me in reminds me how big and alive the world is and how I am a part of it. The world, the real stuff, it isn't in my phone. It's out in the open. It's connecting with others. There's windy streets and bright lights and nasty smells and cold metal and soft voices, and I will never get enough of it. And this is what romanticizing your life is all about. Noticing the small things. Every touch, taste, sound, the bad things as well as the good. It's doing what you love and loving who you are. These are things that don't always come naturally. Sometimes you have to look in the mirror and resolve to be good to yourself today. If this is something you struggle with, try thinking of one thing you like about yourself every day for a week. It could be as simple as, I'm good at maths, or as subtle as, I like the way I walk. Some people recommend writing gratitude lists as a way of consciously acknowledging the things you're grateful for. I personally like to do this when I'm journaling, but it's not everyone's cup of tea. If you notice yourself in a negative mood, try thinking of something that's going well for you, like that delicious sandwich you had for lunch. It might just be enough to turn your whole day around. This one principle is at the very core of living a romanticized life, and that is being good to yourself. Once you start loving yourself, the rest of life seems that little bit brighter, knowing it's okay to just exist. Accepting your imperfections is what makes you unique. Recently, someone I love told me I should get my skin tags removed, because I have several and they don't. Why wouldn't you want your skin to be nice and smooth? Well, because they'd be replaced with scars. Because they've been there my whole life, like little buddies on my body. Because they're as much a part of me as my ears or my nose or my freckles. Once I held this opinion, my opinion, above what they thought, I noticed it didn't bother me so much that they don't like my skin tags, because they're a part of me and I love myself and therefore I love them. I'm not going to tell you to have a skincare routine or do yoga or change your hair. What I do want to ask of you is, what parts of yourself do you like, and what parts do you wish you were able to accept? Just like your body, every part of your mind has value. There's no point in hating your entire personality and constantly fighting yourself to change it, if at the end of the day, there's really nothing wrong with you. So you'd like to be kinder, maybe smarter, or be able to keep your mouth shut at inappropriate times. But you could be funny, honest, or considerate already, and be totally ignoring the qualities that other people love you for. You are worthy of love and friendship, just as you are in this very moment. Once you're at a stage where you're able to see that, you will have already come so far in your journey to be who you really want to be. On that same note, I want you to believe that your opinions mean something. Your thoughts are important. It's okay to put your opinions above others. Graciously accepting criticism, even if it's constructive, is difficult, but honourable. However, allowing yourself to be insulted or taken advantage of because deep down you believe that your own thoughts and opinions matter less than those of the other person only feeds the negativity that is already in your head. When someone tells you they don't like something about you, try to stop and think about whether or not you actually agree. This is one of the hardest things to do, in my opinion, because there will always be a part of you that naturally second guesses all your opinions and decisions. You might think, what if I'm overreacting, or being too sensitive, or not being considerate enough of their point of view? But giving hurtful criticisms too much credit will always water the seeds of your own self-doubt. It's okay to like yourself as you are, even if other people want you to change. The only person who wants you to change that you should listen to is yourself. Because if you know you have bad habits that are negatively affecting your relationships with others, you should want to change them in order to strengthen your bond with that person. Mutual respect in these matters is key.
Life's not that bad. There's good parts too. There's fun to be had in the world. You have to create it. It doesn't just fall into your hands. You have to decide. This is what I want. Happiness is what I want. Irregardless of whether or not I deserve it. You know, everyone deserves to be happy. It's the most fundamental thing, the most basic. It's funny being in a playground because everyone thinks that fun is for children, and when you grow up you have responsibility and you do other things, you know? But just because your body is bigger doesn't mean that child inside of you is just left, gone. Neglect yourself. Sometimes you have to look after yourself as though you're still a child. You know, because you have to give yourself basic necessities, and sometimes you have to ask other people for it too. You know, like a hug. I fucking love a hug. I'm gonna hug the world. Life is good. I love it.
Now, we've talked about some fairly heavy things today, so I'd like to end on a really wholesome note. Spending time with the people you love. One of my favourite things to do on a quiet evening is to play with my cat, Coco. When I'm with her, I feel the softness of her fur and the vibration of her purr, and I just feel calmer. I feel less alone. I feel loved completely and unconditionally. You should never underestimate the bonds people have with animals. We can sometimes be closer to them than we are with other humans. They remind us of things outside of ourselves and ground us in the everyday aspects of life. Food, warmth, quality time. Once you give those things to yourself too, then life becomes a little more romanticized. I hope this was helpful. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have a lovely day.